Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin. I'm a dumb dad.
Hey, everybody. My name's Evan. I'm a dumb dad.
Hey, buddy. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
Clank.
Clink. Welcome in. Welcome in all.
So I thought you were going to say welcome in one last time. I was
Welcome
like,
in
are
one
we
last
shutting
time.
this down?
Yeah, dropping a bomb on you right now, Kev. I'm retiring as a dumb dad. I'm going to be a smart dad from now on. No more mistakes.
So we'll be back here next week with Evan's latest absolute
Epic fail.
disaster. So you were on the roof.
Yeah, I was on the roof, and anyway, waiting on that hospital bill.
So we've been having quite a fun week, haven't we?
Yeah, I think
Last
so.
week and this week has been a real delight. We've had a lot of rain, and we've been talking about it nonstop on this podcast, but we got like the big one of rain.
Yeah.
Some areas of LA got snow. We have snow-capped mountains that we can see, which is insane. But we had some pretty wild rainstorms, and there was some power outages and flooding. Did you get hit with any of that?
The flooding, my garage likes to flood a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Boy, let me tell you. Remember last year, earlier this year, who knows, whenever the hell it was, who cares? When I was telling you that the sunroof of my car was leaking, and I had to go get that fixed. Can't tell you how glad I am I did that.
Yeah.
I mean, my car would be ruined
Sure.
right now.
Sure.
I mean, because it's bad. Also, we talked last week when our wives went on their little road trip to their bachelorette party. We threw the car, what do you call it, on top of the car, luggage.
I like to
rack
call it
thing.
a turtle.
Yeah, a car turtle that holds your stuff for you. I left that up there just because it's a little extra protection of the rain, not just dumping on top of the moonroof.
Oh, smart. I was hoping to hear that it was like a swimming pool now.
Oh, I'm
That
sure
all
there's
there's
a swimming pool.
all
in
your
there.
garage rats are just backstroking in there.
It's a hotel.
Doing
they've
the
established.
gargling like cartoon characters do.
All inclusive.
Why do they do that?
so-
Why do they gargle the water in the cartoons?
I don't know.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest doing that in any pool.
Yeah.
Even your own. I mean, what are we doing here?
Not in the bath. Not anywhere. If your body's in it, what are we doing?
That's something your kids do that will never cease to.
Drink the bath water?
Yeah, water and spitting it out. I mean, like, oh man.
It's gross and unsettling, and then it's worse when they're doing it and you're like, come on guys, and then you're cleaning up the bathtub later and you see like one of their water toys and you can see it has some black marks on the inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing
Yeah.
there's an ecosystem inside of there.
Yeah, we wonder why our kids get sick so much.
Yeah.
What?
I want to
is
know why
happening?
don't they get sick less? I mean, they're just eating famine. They should be unstoppable.
That's true. They should be like, I mean, their little immune system should be a tight seal at this point.
Tight seal.
Yeah, we're already working on something in here.
This whole thing about like, well, this is one of the worst winters for sickness ever because everybody's been separated. And I was like, they're still bathing with themselves, being awful and disgusting.
Wiping their face with their hands.
Yeah.
God. We've had
across their arms.
Oh man, I apologize for that audio.
Yeah. Stay focused on the road if you're driving.
We have. I mean, it's true. I know it sounds like we're just whining about it raining in LA, but it has been a thing to where it's just unprecedented.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody has that storm somewhere in their lives where they're from. Well, I just mean like where they're from.
Metaphor. Everyone has that storm in their life, and
Somewhere.
it comes, and you just got to see it through.
Yeah, at the end of the storm, there's a golden sky
and a rainbow
that
leads to nothing.
That was a little bit of the Liverpool song. You know, you'll never walk alone. This part of it. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky.
There's the comment section.
Yeah, I'm gonna slip it in there. It's a community, Kevin.
I know.
It's a community.
You guys are so proud of the community.
And you know what? You're welcome to join. I couldn't be happier to have you. It's been insane.
That's how a cult starts.
Oh wow. And the cult starts with two guys on a podcast talking about the kids.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. And
it's very believable.
It's been raining, and it's been crazy. Like it's been raining so much that trees are falling down because the ground is so soggy and moist.
Yeah.
It can't sustain a heavy tree leaning 5 degrees.
I lost a couple of my artichoke plants. Okay, I I have not walked out of this unscathed. 2 of them are listing.
These are the ones that you tell me, I don't know, I'm just leaving them. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm just leaving them. I'm still leaving. I'm still leaving.
And they're like, we're out of here. We're done.
I tried to pick them up, and I was like, all right, well, if you don't want to try, and I walked away.
We'll find somebody else that wants to be here.
Here's why I bring up the rain. I'm not bringing it up just as because that's what you do when you don't have anything to talk about. The weather's been crazy.
Yeah. How crazy has the rain been?
Dude, tomorrow is going to be nice. So yeah, tomorrow's supposed to be okay. The reason I bring it up is because this is the first. Yeah, this is like the first like storm that we had that I can remember or think of. Where I was like, as a homeowner, like worried. I was puttering about the house.
So something happens, it's your problem.
It was really windy. I'd been hearing about trees falling down.
Yeah.
My neighbor has a tree the size of a 747 just right next to it.
Yeah.
I mean, the good news is if that tree decides to go on our house, it's over quickly.
It's true. Yeah. Pancake house.
But I was worried about it. And then I had an incident happen that I was like, oh my gosh. Suddenly, so we had this furnace in the wall in the living room, and the other side of the wall was the hallway. And that was like our only source of heat when we first moved in the house. We didn't have central air. And we since had that removed and, boarded and then drywall plastered. It's covered up. And during this rainstorm, I noticed, never seen this before, didn't know this happened, but at the mud that was there, starting to get wet again. It's just starting to soften again.
Oh, okay.
And I know right away what's happening.
Oh, I know what's happening.
It's not in the ceiling. It's in the wall. It's in the side. And I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, I go up to it and I poke it a couple times, put my fingernail on it, and I was like, yep, that's definitely like wet and soft and like malleable again.
Coincidentally enough, it's exactly how you test the pumpkin that's on your doorstep November 18th. And you realize your finger goes right through it, and then you try to pick it up to go put it in the garbage, and then you just pick up some of it.
And you're dry heaving the whole way there. This is the scariest thing all Halloween. So I'm like, oh man, this is bad. There's a leak in the roof.
Yeah.
That's not great. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do here. And
it's inside the walls.
It's inside the walls.
Yeah.
So I am just like, I got to investigate. I can't.
You're a dad. That's your job.
I'm a dad. And also you just don't want it to get worse when it's like, oh, I could have just like done this one little thing, or maybe I could do nothing. Like, I don't know. You gotta go. Yeah.
You're a
the
dad.
Dad move. You gotta check it out.
You're a dad, which makes you curious.
Yeah. Yeah. So I go to the garage, run out to the garage, grab the ladder, run back in, set up the ladder, which it's funny because this is gonna bite me when my kids are older. But the entrance to the attic is in my children's closet.
Oh, okay.
You need a ladder to get there. It doesn't have like a pull down ladder or anything.
Sure.
You have to get your own ladder. But if
I know anything about
those kids are.
You pull the ladder down, it hits you in the face. That's what I know.
I'm going to be watching something or being negligent, and I'm going to hear some rustling around, or a foot's going to come through, and it's going to be a tiny little foot screaming. It's going to happen.
Can I tell you something really quick?
Yeah.
The idea of going up in an attic is so scary to me.
Did you never do it as a kid?
No.
Oh, I did it all the time.
Did you really?
Yeah, I loved it.
Now, I know what you're saying, and it could be fun knowing that it's like a good place to go, and you could go up and walk around it, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But going up into an attic that I've never been before. Now, here's the thing. I don't own a home. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Working on it.
Sure.
Harder than it looks, apparently.
Yeah.
But in the rental space of homes, like we're renting this home, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The home has been owned by many people. I don't know what's up there. I don't know what crawls around up there. I know when
you have a pretty good idea what crawls around up there.
We could hear it. That's the problem.
They visit all over the place.
But see, that's the problem. When we had a rat problem, the guy's like, we could hear him. We thought that it sounded like it was up above us.
Yeah.
So the guy goes up there. He's like, where's your, the access point? For us, it's in the hallway. And he goes up there, throws traps up there. But, like, I just don't like the idea of going like, okay, I'm going to go up in the attic, and you lift that thing, and then something's just looking nose to nose with you. Or that horrible static sound when you go to lift it up, and you're like, you're ruining a web of some spider that's just waiting for you.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Sure.
I don't know, man. My imagination is just a little bit too scary sometimes.
It's wild. I mean, you painted a beautiful picture, but you got to go up there, man. You got to go up there.
When I have a house, I would love to go up there and like set up a space or something. I don't know.
I do most of my reading up there.
Do you put stuff up there? Can you store things?
The thing is, you can fit your books nicely on the spider webs. You just rest them there, hands free, and then you just kind of enjoy the book.
Oh.
And then you use the raccoon as a pillow.
Oh, okay.
I need some shots. Yeah, so I went up to my attic as a bunch as a kid. It's still daunting because one bad step and your foot does go through there. It does just pop right through.
You step on the framing. Yeah, I know. Christmas Vacation is one of my favorite Christmas movies. I know what that's like.
So I go up there. I have not been up to my attic since we had the roof done, and then we also had central air installed.
Oh, there's a lot of debris up there. I can tell you that right now.
There is a lot. It was like
more than you hope.
It was like a robot held a WWE match. I mean, there was just broken wood shards everywhere, but then there was more. I don't know what I thought, but the central air system is gigantic, and it takes up a lot of the attic that you're like, oh, I don't have much room to walk around in. Now I've got to be a little bit more, and I'm not, a little bit more ninja-like.
Agile.
You
wouldn't say you're graceful?
I did not
You're a little
say
clumsy.
that. I'm wonderful. I manage. The problem was I couldn't get to the point that I was trying to get to. I'm the dork wearing the headlamp, and I'm just like, it is better. It's hands-free. But I'm like,
it's true.
I'm moving around, I'm going under things and over things, and just like dragging my body at some points just to get to this. I want to see. I know what it is. It's the old furnace. They clearly just took out the furnace part, left the pipe there. I need to know what's going on. And I see it, and it's got a tiny bit of drip that I can't even reach or get to.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, there's nothing you can do about that now. So
confirmed. I can't do anything about
it. Great. And then
but at least you know.
But on the way back, what did I find? Another one doing the same thing. Put a towel down, called it a day. It didn't get any worse from there, but I went back up one more time. I'll probably go up one more time again. It's raining right now.
Yeah. I'm curious. Well, you're curious.
But it was just funny. My wife was just like, it's pouring rain, and like my wife has to see me walking in the house with a ladder. Like, what are you doing, man?
It's something that is activated within you when the human child comes out. And I don't know exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the curiosity thing. How do things work? How can I protect my family? What can I do?
Yeah.
I'm going to go up in the attic and figure it out. Yep, there's a leak up there.
How do you protect the family?
I don't know. I don't know. I put a towel down.
I have backup drywall for when this all goes sideways. So I was watching that thing the rest of the day. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a dumb dad
More
moment.
fingernail tests.
No, I knew.
More pumpkin tests.
It kept getting bigger, and then it stopped, and it's since re-dried. I will be cutting it out because I know that's how you make mold.
Yep.
It's a fun little. It's like that and a rubber ducky in the bathtub. Both of those
are
create the same thing.
Ecosystems, as you coined it. Yeah.
I'll just feed it to my kids, and it won't do anything because
I'm not going to suggest that.
Yeah. So that was almost my dumb dad moment.
Oh, good.
Here is my dumb dad moment.
Good. Okay, good.
It's a fun one. So this past Sunday, we had something called, and I posted about it on our Instagram stories. They had this thing, CicLAvia. Now, my wife and I, we met in New York. We used to ride our bikes to and from our jobs to meet friends all over the city. It was the best. Such a fun experience about living in New York was like we were on bicycles, which like not a lot of people did. A good amount did, but that wasn't like the regular thing. Which I don't know how we got turned on to that, but it was just such a fun experience.
Well,
to
it's
get
faster than walking.
It's faster than walking, but the train's always going to be faster. But it's nicer to be like, you get on the thing, you listen to like a podcast or something, and you just
for sure
enjoy the ride, and you get to see scenic New York. Anyway, I've missed that ever since. I rode my bike to when I had a job before kids. I rode my bike to work once. It took 2.5 hours to get there at night
in LA.
Yeah, on the way home, they don't have street lamps
You
everywhere.
you didn't have kids.
I didn't have
It's
kids
just a
at
dumb
this
person.
time.
It's just a dumb Kevin
Just a
moment.
dumb Kevin moment. I went so slow. But I was also going like, I can't see anything. So I won't know I hit anything until you're flying. So I haven't really ridden my bike much since. I ride the neighborhood with my daughter and my son on, hitched on the back. Anyway, CicLAvia is this thing where they block off. It was I would say it's at least 4 miles of road.
Where?
So it's in different places. I think it's every 3 months. I could be wrong about that. I think it's every 3 months. So this time it was in Reseda. It was
locally.
It was very local for us. It was
convenience.
It was a half-mile bike ride for us to get to the starting point.
Yeah.
We also the starting point was also right next to us. So it wasn't like we'll jump in and we're in the middle. So where do you want to go, left or right? It was really convenient for us. We didn't have to hook up bikes to the car or whatever. So it's just get the kids on, let's go. So we're looking at the weather and it's a high of 60, something like that, maybe even lower than that. But we were the sun is out, and LA is weird that when the sun's out, the temperature is not the temperature.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
What was your son's situation?
So he's in the back. He's hooked up to the back of my bike. He's in this
on the chair
on
your bike.
That's hooked up in the back.
Man.
Love that thing. It's so fun.
Yeah, I took my daughter on that one time. She flipped out.
Hated it?
Hated it.
Oh, it's the best.
Because I know you had. Now I have the little trailer thing on the back of the bike. They sit in it. You pull it behind you. Loved that.
Yeah.
But so I also bought one of those chairs, thinking there'd be a different way to go on a bike ride and not feel so.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Topeak. That's the brand of the
that
bike
you use.
seats.
Okay.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, I mean, I did the research and found that one looks the most solid, somewhat comfortable, and she just absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even get to the end of the street before she's screaming for me to stop. So I had to go back, and this is setting out on a family bike ride. Stop, go back, unhook the whole thing, then rehook on the trailer and everything. So it was fine, but I felt bad because you scared her. But it was man,
that's interesting.
That didn't work.
That's interesting.
So your daughter loved it, and he loves it.
My daughter loved it. My son loves it. He picks my pockets when he does it though. Because you're right there, and he's just bored after a while. So it's just kind of what's going on in here? I'm always stop. Anyway, he's hooked up to the back. My daughter's riding, no training wheels.
Yeah.
So we were a little nervous about that. Getting her there was stressful.
Yeah, because once you're there, it's only bikes, but you got a
It's
half
still
mile.
stressful there, but before you're there, it's main roads, it's alleys, it's driveways.
Yeah.
And it's a 6-year-old.
You're just, exactly. I'm sure once you're there, you're just worried about her bumping into people and riding in front of people.
Yeah.
But on the way there, it's traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was very nerve-wracking to get there.
Yeah.
We had a dumb dad, or not even dumb dad moment, just a dumb moment. It was just a dumb moment. Nobody was to blame. But
I'm sure we could find a way here.
Well, my daughter, riding out, she was a little timid. We rode once the week before. She hasn't ridden in a while. So she was a little timid. So she kind of she didn't fall, but she let her bike fall, and it broke her basket where she was carrying, as children do. I don't know if your kids do this, carry way too many things. She's like, I want to bring all this stuff. And it was
every time we go to Target, it's a 4-minute ride. My son brings a plethora of stuff to play with in the car.
She brings
just ride in the car and look out the window.
She brings garbage. She brings paper and a pen. Great. 4 scrunchies. Why? A stuffed animal. Not going to need it. A jacket she doesn't want to wear.
She's got the basket on the front of her bike.
Basket on the front of her bike.
You know how you avoid that situation?
What's that?
You don't put a basket on the bike.
The ship has sailed. Okay, we're in the situation now. This doesn't help us. The basket is.
And I just playing the hindsight.
The basket is down. The lunchbox is on the ground. It's snapped in one part, the connector to it.
Yeah.
So we're just we haven't even gotten there. We're
now
a quarter of a mile away.
You got to figure out how to carry because it's not going to stay in the basket anymore.
No. What we did was this is where I kind of turned it around. I was my wife was like, now we have all this crap, and I was like, I want to be there for a while. So no. So I just grabbed her lunchbox, opened it, took her sweatshirt out because she packed that, and I was like, hold on to this, I'll be right back. And I just with my son just zoomed home on my bike as fast as I could, went into the garage, grabbed some zip ties, zipped back, zip tied the thing back on, threw her sweatshirt in and was like, "It's all you need. Let's go."
That's
Hitting
great.
the road.
Good for you. That's a good dad moment to fix the problem and not like eliminate her ability to have fun by taking your stuff with her. That's a good move.
So, I mean, I got rid of like the dumb things.
Well,
we don't need a notepad. What are you going to, stenographer? We don't need to know what happened here. Sketch how it went.
Phones. We can.
I'm going to document its content. Don't worry. I won't put your face on there. So we ride and we get there, and again, it was nerve-wracking getting there, but we got there in one piece, and it was very scary, and then we kind of all took a breather. And I feel bad. My poor wife is definitely more anxious than I was. She's a more, I'm an idiot guy, dad, so I'm naturally more like, what could go wrong about everything?
Whoops.
But also, I've seen my daughter ride her bike, so I know what she isn't capable of.
Yeah.
So I was somewhere in between my wife and how I normally am, because I'm normally in a quiet neighborhood where it's pretty chill and you can see stuff coming a mile away.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get there and she is immediately just zipping in front of people. Like, we were just like, we just made the mistake of hyping her up going, so this is all blocked off for just cyclists. This is all ours. And she heard, all mine, got it.
It's what I like to hear, though, is that she's quickly adapting into becoming a Los Angeles driver, which is just drive on the road like there's no one else there and there's no cars.
No. She was adapting like a Los Angeles police officer. Not everybody knows this is a deep cut, but on the highway sometimes to cool out when traffic's getting real bad, police officers will show up on the highway, one car, and then they will go from the slow lane to the fast lane with their lights on going, I don't know, 15 miles per hour.
If that. Back and forth.
And just holding up traffic to let what's congested up ahead just kind of funnel out. Right. And then they let everybody go. That's what my daughter was doing for a second. We're just like,
she could just see it was, side, we're getting kind of piled up back there.
To the other. And we were just kind of like, hey. And we had to pull her aside, have a talk with her, which is hard because you have to thread that needle as a parent. Where you're like, I don't want to upset you so that you shut down, and then
you don't want to be here, and then
you either don't want to be here, which is a big one you got to watch out for.
Yep.
It's one thing if if you have a talk with them and they don't want to be at Target anymore. I mean, I didn't want to be at Target 5 minutes in, but this is something we're all excited about.
Yeah.
And then you also don't want her to like be sad that she's not thinking and crashes into somebody because she's not paying attention.
Right.
So anyway, we get her on the right page. We're back at it. We're doing great. We ride our bikes for 3 miles before we hit these, we run into these food trucks and there's music and DJs and stuff. And we were just like, it was like a rest area. And we were like, all right, let's pull over. Let's have some lunch. The sun went away.
When you stopped moving.
When we stopped moving, the sun went away. We'd already ordered the food. It was, hold on. We get there. What's the first thing we get our kids? Because we don't care. This is a fun day.
Sure.
We're not like, you have to have your lunch first. We don't care. We get them snow cones. Then the sun goes away.
They're not podcasts in a row that you just went right to some sort of ice cream.
My wife was
as a meal.
My wife said it this time. And she can come on this podcast.
She doesn't listen. She edits it. She doesn't listen.
Who wants snow cones? She's going to cut all this. This won't make it to air. It was her fault. No. So we were like, you want snow cones? And they got so excited. We got them snow cones. And then we ordered some more.
58-degree weather.
Yeah. Then the sun went away and it felt very cold suddenly. The wind picked up too. It was so unnecessary. And then I picked the most popular food truck where the ordering went fast, but the pickups were forever. Yeah. So then we're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And then my daughter comes to hang out with me and we're like, I'm gauging her and she's like, hey, Dad.
Did you get a blue snow cone or are your lips just that way right now?
She's like, I'm kind of cold. And I was like, no, I know. I'm cold too. But we'll get some warm food in our bellies and then we'll get back on our bikes and that'll warm us right back up. She's like, okay. She's got good spirits about it. And she kept good spirits about it. We go back to my little guy after I get some stuff. His lips are purple. I mean, he's not doing great. And it just gets colder from there. And then I was like, well, here, have a French fry. I have a warm French fry. It's lava in his mouth, which makes him cry. And the good news is we're 3 miles at least from our house. Because it's a straight line. It's not like it was a circle where it's like, well, let's just cut this way and we'll go. No, it's 3.5 miles to get home. So no matter how sad everyone is, we gotta you gotta
hoof it home somehow. You gotta get there
through it. So we did that. We finished the food, get the kids on the bikes, and it was a nice memory, but pretty sad on the way home. I mean, he was like passing out and like crying here or there. Luckily,
and then he's just sitting there in the chair behind you with just wind in his face.
Well, luckily my big dumb body was taking all the wind, which hurt so bad. Like my hands were hurting by the end. I was just like, oh man, this is not great. And my daughter is just like every once in a while going, it's really cold. Are we almost home? And I'm like just seeing the street signs that I recognize from driving and going, no.
Yeah, we're not close. Not. This sounds like such a fun late spring summer activity.
They do it every 3 months. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, every season.
3 months from now, can't wait.
This is the winter one. Okay, luckily our winter ones are not winter for everyone. But we didn't dress appropriately. My wife wore a sweatshirt and almost ditched it walking out the door. Was almost like, I don't know that I'm going to want this. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's up to you. And she was like, keep it. Good thing she did, because that never came off ever. And she was just like she was more comfortable than the rest of us. My daughter put on her sweatshirt and my son was he was sad.
He was in a tank top.
He was in a tank top and Speedos.
Fantastic. It was like the one window. It was like the window of opportunity to do something that day.
It was the only day that wasn't raining.
The only day that it wasn't raining.
Yeah.
And this is so fun how this completely aligns with bike riding all throughout this whole episode, which is exactly what we're going to do here going into my sort of dumb dad day.
Okay.
My son takes this cartooning class at the rec center that he loves. And the last time we were there, one of his buddies there was like, hey, man, you should come to my birthday. And he invited him to, he gave him this like little invitation. He's like, my birthday's, next weekend or whatever, come to my birthday party. So we're like, yeah, sure, that's a fun idea, Come to it was in the park. That's a huge thing here in LA. Is like you go by
park birthdays.
Park birthdays. It's like there's like
so easy.
It's easy. It's a great idea. It's outdoor and it's fun. But I mean, you go by any park in LA and there's like 9 bouncy houses there and huge birthdays and everything going on because it's what you do here in LA. So that's what was going to happen. It was like, come to the park. We're going to have, park birthday on this invitation. And it said, bring what you got, scooter, bike, whatever. And we'll just have fun at the park. So I was like, sweet. That's a great idea. Lo and behold, it's going to be on Sunday. Checking the weather. The one day it's not raining. Fantastic.
Yeah. Good luck.
So my wife doesn't really love the social situation, especially she gets social anxiety, especially if she's like not going to know anybody.
Yeah.
Which is fair. People get that.
Yeah.
Totally cool. So she's like, would you mind taking him and I don't have to go? And I was like, no problem. And she's like, that way I can do something with.
Were you social with anxiety wise?
You know what? I a little bit am social anxiety wise, which seems like BS for what we do. But at the same time, like just striking up a conversation with a bunch of people I've never met before is not like my absolute favorite thing.
I'm not good at it either. My daughter had a birthday party.
I honestly think you're better at it than I am. Maybe you are. Maybe you don't love it as much, but I think you're better at it than I am. And I think like you bartended longer than I did. And I know that's part of the job, but I think you're well rehearsed in it.
Sure.
And
hospitality.
Sure. I mean, and listen, if I have a job to be a host of something, no issues.
Yeah.
But when it's just like kind of standing around, striking up a conversation about nothing, avoiding the weather conversation.
There's a lot of bobbing heads.
Yeah, bobbing heads.
Heads.
Lips pursed. Like,
yeah. Thanks for having me. Of course.
The Dodgers do play soon.
I love his shirt. Thanks. We got it at a store. Oh, I went to a store. I went to a store once myself.
Yeah. Prices and sales tax.
Receipts sometimes.
And so anyway, all that to say, I was like, sure, I'll take him, right? So first dumb dad moment, was getting all geared up, and now again, we're a 1-car family, so it was like everyone get in the car, throw the bikes in the back, and then mommy and daughter will go do something and hang out or run an errand or two or whatever, and then come grab us whenever It's over when we're done.
Yeah.
No problems. So we go to the garage, get his stuff, get the helmet, and I pick up the helmet, and I'm like, I don't think that's going to fit his head.
Oh.
And like, we've been I think actually, here's the thing, like, we went, not a lot in the winter, right? So it's been a minute since like sort of the same.
Yeah.
Weather's been bad, but also during the winter, you don't go bike riding a ton. But I'm looking at this thing going, why don't you throw this on really quick? I mean, you set it on top of his head, and it's like a sort of a helmet yarmulke situation.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't sit down far enough to where
he's got a big dome.
He has a big dome. I will say that.
My daughter's got a big dome too.
But it also
funny when
was
they
like,
tell you that. I didn't remember that. I didn't remember they did that at the doctor's till the last time my daughter went, and there was like, height 99.87 percentile,
yeah,
weight 75, and she goes, head 93, and I was like, head? And I forgot you guys did that.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, circumference situation.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, it was like, you know what? We're gonna swing by the old Target on the way to this kid's birthday that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
In total truth, we were going to go there anyway to like find something to bring, offer, throw it in a little gift bag, got to get some tissue, paper, all that situation. What's this kid's name again? But it was like, this kid needs a helmet. Luckily, they had one that was his size. So a little bit of the dumb dad moment was just thinking like, all this stuff is normal. Here's the second dumb dad moment.
Mm-hmm.
His bike is too small for him, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, his knees are like,
hitting the handles almost?
Yeah. And it's not like egregiously bad, but it's like he needs a new bike. I mean, it's just sitting on it, you're looking at it going, those proportions are not accurate.
You're not trying to listen to your knees.
Right. Yeah. Kiss your knees as they come up. And so we thought, well, we're not going to buy a bike right now. He'll get away with it for now. We certainly need to research into like maybe whatever the mid-size bike is going to be.
Yeah.
But the helmet situation, he looked hilarious.
Perfect.
So ran by Target, get this kid a little gift, get my son a helmet. We get to the birthday party. And again, as you said, one day it's not raining. So I thought this is going to be fun. At least like,
yeah,
I'll do whatever. I'll try to meet some people. I'm going to do my best to talk to as many people as I can. I'm not just going to sit there on my phone. Like, I don't want to be that guy either.
Sure.
And so we get there, and like as soon as we roll up, we get dropped off, and we like walk halfway across the park. And we roll up and the mom is like, thank you so much for coming. And we introduce ourselves. And she's like, I forgot to bring my son's bike.
Oh.
So that was the other dumb parenting moment, which was
wow, not on you though.
Okay.
Sweet.
Because it was on the invite.
Yeah.
That it was like, that was sort of the idea.
That's the drawback to park parties though. Like,
yeah.
if you do it at like a restaurant, whatever, Sky Zone, something like that,
Sure.
they handle all of it. You just got to bring the cake. Maybe a present. You don't have to do a present. You get presents at home, but you just got to bring the cake. Or sometimes not at all. Sometimes they provide the cake. That's the drawback to the park party.
Hilarious.
You got to do it all.
So then my son just put his bike over with the other like 4 or 5 bikes that other kids had brought that they weren't using because they weren't riding bikes.
Great.
But
BYOB.
So here I am at this place, and as you said, as you're probably on your way home, cold. I'm just standing there.
Yeah, so you're cold as well.
Oh, man. I'm just like trying not to be the guy shivering.
Oh, wow.
Just standing there. So my son did a good job just making friends right away.
Yeah.
With all these other kids, he doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know anybody there except for the one kid because he goes to like little cartooning class. They all go to a different school, and like all his friends were all from a different elementary school. They don't go to his school. Mm-hmm. So, but they were all having a great time. Every time he comes back and checks on me, can I have a cupcake? Can I have one of the cookies? Can I have another pizza, whatever? He's like more and more muddy and dirty. But it's more, dude, go for it. Like, I miss that. When you're just a kid and none of that, nothing matters other than I'm at this birthday party and we're all laughing, having a great time.
You could have, but you chose not to talk. You could have got muddy with all the other dads.
That's what I should have been doing. Yeah,
there.
I should have been just like diving around, sliding with the other dads.
You say you don't know what to say to them. You walk up to them, stand there for a second that they start to like wonder, the shifty eyes, like, what's this guy doing? Slap them real hard in the shoulder. You're it. And then just run and just take off.
Yeah.
And then they'll just say, oh, no, you didn't. And then they'll chase after you.
Yeah. Except for like 40 yards away, I'm but just by myself.
Yeah, and then you just hear a woman going, "Yeah, that guy over there, he hit me."
That guy, officer. Oh, how did he get here fast?
And then you go, time out.
And then to top it all off, the funniest situation is like, we love creating our content and putting it out there for people to relate to and connecting with the people online. But it's also like that's sort of like when that's our job, and that's what we put out there for people to enjoy.
Sure.
But when you're caught in it personally, then it's weird.
What do you mean caught in it? What were you caught in?
Like, I'm talking to this guy, cool dad, has a cool job. We're talking about his job. We're relating to him a little bit. All I told him was like, yeah, I'm an actor and a writer. He's like, oh, that's cool. Thankfully, he doesn't do like the, what have I seen you in? Where can I see you? Blah, blah, blah. He was just like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I like quickly got back to like, so you make the, whatever. And my son runs over and he's like, hey, one of these kids over at the party we're talking to, he follows your TikTok account. And I was immediately, I'm like, uh-oh. And of course, the dad I've been talking to for an hour goes, what's your TikTok account? And I was like,
smells like feet.
Yeah. So then I'm like, we're the dumb dads on TikTok and Instagram. And he pulls out his phone and starts looking it up. And it's like, man, don't do that in front of me. It's like as bad as like watching yourself on television, like when you're going, I don't know. I hope people like it. I can't watch me. I'm too critical of me.
Did he watch any videos?
Thankfully, no.
No.
But he's like, Google here, and the first thing is Dumb Dad's press conference. I'm like, yeah, it's a bit that we do. Do you want some cake? They haven't cut it yet, so I'll cut it now.
And you just went, anyway, slap the phone out of his hand. You're it. And you just run away.
Yeah. So all that to say, it was fun. It was nice. I met the kid's dad and his mom, and they were very nice, and it was very cool. They were Portuguese, I believe, but the other extended parts of the family were from a different part of the world, and so when they sang Happy Birthday, they sang it in like 5 languages.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was so cool.
So it's like a Zoom Happy Birthday.
Total Zoom
like
Happy
Birthday. When we
birthday.
used to sing Happy Birthday over Zoom, it felt like it was 5
like
languages.
Singing it around. Yeah. And so that was really cool. That's one of the coolest things about being in a big city is you just get like the culture of everybody there.
Yeah.
And then my favorite, like the final, not dumb dad moment, but the final dumb moment of all of it was my clueless son when they take a big picture. Everybody's standing around the cake. Yeah. And then they go, okay, and you could... They didn't necessarily say it, but it was very clear that they brought the family around the cake to take a picture before they cut it open. And then there's just my son standing with them with the big smile on his face. And like this whole kid's extended
and you're
family.
Just like, were you like signaling so hard to get out of there?
I was like far enough away to where I then can't yell at him. So he's just going to be in this kid's like birthday photo with all of his whole family.
Yeah. It's like when my daughter was on the stage with the cheerleaders that won first place, and she went on stage with them. I was like,
as if she could do backflips, and
it was in the front row, taking pictures.
So it's great. I mean, what a great day! It was fun. My trophy of a wife shows up to this thing when we're not done. I'm not texting her going, "Get over here." She shows up out of nowhere with my daughter with a hot cup of Starbucks for me. And my hands were purple. I mean, it's like the most thankful I've ever been for a gift.
Oh.
I'm just like, I don't even really need a cup of coffee right now. My hands I just wanted to hold it.
She brought a bike too. She's like, I got him a new bike. We're like, we're giving it to the birthday boy so they can all ride their damn bikes.
Yeah. Eventually, my son did a pretty good job. Like, he only knew the kids so well, and they're all kind of running around playing. He was just doing laps, riding it. He got on his bike, and I was like, I'm just going to ride my bike for a while. Yeah. So it was fun. He was just riding around. It was great. So it ended up being fun, but it was just, oh, God, what hilarious. Like, come bring your bike for a big birthday bike ride. We forgot his bike.
I love it. That's
like,
a good one.
Man.
That's good.
But it was fun. And as I said before, I have that social anxiety a little bit of I just don't know when to like, what, because I know it's so fleeting. I'm never going to see these people again. And that doesn't necessarily mean like, so I don't feel like talking to you and I don't want to talk to you. But then that style of conversation is so, like, I have a couple of my friends that are so good at that. Like, before I know it, they're like really good friends exchanging numbers with people and stuff.
They work in sales?
One of them's a recruiter.
Yeah, that's why.
And when he got that job like a few years ago, and he's like, I'm gonna try to be a recruiter. I'm a little bit nervous about it. I'm like, what? Like he's the kind of guy you go around with, and like everywhere you go, he's like, oh, I know that guy, like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like, not only are you gonna excel in this job, but like I admire that he's just so good at striking up a conversation with anybody.
Yeah.
So trying to be better at that. This was a good exercise, not to shy away from it, but to go for it. So. It was fun to go talk to the kid's dad, learn about his, he's opening a restaurant and all this stuff. So it was just fun to like learn about more people. And I think that's what it's more about,
That's nice. Good for you.
And don't forget your bike.
Don't forget your bike.
Don't forget to bring the bike if you say there's going to be a bike.
And bring a bike that's an appropriate size for your child.
That's okay. Well, that felt
Just
like
saying.
a little bit of a low blow.
Sounds like the helmet was bigger than the whole bike. Embarrassing. Guys, I want to ask you to be on the lookout. We are doing a mailbag episode.
That's right.
Of this podcast. Be on the lookout. It is coming out soon. We are going to be recording it in the next few days.
Special release?
Soon. It'll be a special release.
Special
it will
release?
not be in place of a normal podcast. We'll still have the normal podcast coming out on Tuesday. And then, I don't know, Thursday or Friday. We don't know. It'll just drop. It'll just be a surprise. Mailbag. Thank you so much for the submissions. We got a ton after our last post that we made asking for submissions, and you guys really came through. Thank you so much for doing that. I'll only ask you for one more thing, which is if you guys can review this podcast on Apple Podcast, it really, really helps.
Or just rate it. Either
or rate it, or yeah. I don't even need to review it if you don't want to.
If you do both, it's a big bonus.
It's a big bonus. But yeah, the rating is huge. The ratings really help boost us and get us out to more people because that's how Apple Podcasts work. We really, really are grateful and really appreciate it. But you can still write in your dumb dad, dumb mom, dumb parent, dumb grandparent moments to us, dumb nanny moments. You can email us dumbdadpod@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at the Dumb Dads, which is our handle on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, where you can watch full episodes of this podcast. Thanks to @Verdu on SoundCloud, who has created the intro and outro to this lovely podcast. Thank you so much, @Verdu. And thanks as always to my lovely wife, Andy, for editing this podcast.
Well said, Kevin.
That was a good place to end it. You got
it's good. It's funny.
Joke to bring it home?
I do.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
A little bit of a riddle.
Okay.
I think you might be able to figure it out. We'll see. Why can't a bicycle stand up on its own?
Why can't it?
It's too tired. Sit with it. No kickstand. Yeah, too tired. A little bit of a really dad-related joke there, dad pun.
Those are not sentient.
Yeah. Do you think this is enough sort of outro commentary to fill out the music before we go?
Yeah.
The air is out of the... There we go.
Thanks for still listening if you're here.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?